Welcome to Key's Garden Cafe. I am in the backyard and I am cleaning this table so that I can clean the chairs that I have with them and get this prepped with seeds that I'm going to stratify for the continuous summer season, planting vegetables and things that will continue to grow, like kale and carrots and so forth, as well as planting perennial seeds for next year and possibly bulbs for this fall to come up. So I am cleaning this table. I had a bunch of stuff on it that has been here for a while, so I'm glad I got it cleaned up. Um, so I like to have my outdoors harmonize with indoors so that even when I'm outside, it feels like I'm inside and vice versa. So I just got the water hose and I have the water. I'm not like technically wasting water because I have a bed over here that I am going to dig up, and I'm thinking I'm going to make like a water pond there. Um, and I'm going to take plants from other areas and put it there. So, one thing about gardening and life in general, you're never really done, you know? It just keeps going and going and going. You clean and you got to clean again, and you plant and you got to plant some more. Or you got to take plants from here and put them in another location because you realize another location, the plants will grow better versus where you currently have them. So you're just constantly learning your plants and your surroundings and where you need to put what to have a better outcome for your plants and for your environment. So, excuse me, I have to spit. Um, so, yeah, I'm cleaning this off, and then I have to clean the chairs that go with it so that I can get it nice and clean because I haven't used this area all summer. There's a sitting area over yonder in the back that we utilize, and other parts of the side of the house and other areas, but this area we never utilize, and I like to take advantage of all the areas of the home because it's a blessing to have areas no matter how small you know your home is. You can get creative and make it feel like there are different locations of your home that it's bigger than what it is, or you know there's more to appreciate about your environment when you utilize it by making each area pretty or having a theme for each area. um, I have some chamomile under here and I don't want to get them wet because I want to make sure I try to get as much of the chamomile as I can and not waste them. chairs are really dirty, and I don't even want you to see, like, from when the rain sits in the chair and it gets caked up with rusty looking stuff. I wish there was a way for me to cover their chairs up because I don't like to put the decorations up when it starts to get cold because I hate looking outside and it looks all drabby and dreary and no color. That really bothers me. So I like to keep my outdoor furniture out, especially if it's like plastic. And if I spray paint them, then I don't mind like spray painting them or like going over them every year. But this right here, these chairs, uh, for whatever reason, when it rains and stuff like that, it sits in the chair and gets them really dirty. So it's a lot of work. I have some, uh, what is it? Um, Not parsley, but cilantro that came up in three different places. But I know y'all gonna be like, why in the world would you just dig up some food? Which I ate it, in fact, but I dug them up because I didn't like how the smell wasn't like collaborating well with the chamomile and the lavender. So it was like conflicting, it's just like when you put perfume on your body and, you don't want like one loud smell coming from your hair and then another different smell that's opposite or just like a contrast different, as far as like maybe your perfume or something like that. So I don't know. I'm just picky when it comes to things. So even though, I love cilantro and I had cilantro like several times within my life, and I didn't think I liked it before I grew cilantro myself because it was like always nasty to me the way I would have it from other places. And then when I grew the cilantro myself and I cooked it or like topped it off on the food, it was like so delicious. So I really love it, but I don't want it growing in the garden because it doesn't that that smell together with the it just eliminates the smell of the calmness of the chamomile and the lavender. And I'm gonna get me some valerian root and have that, because all of that is like very calming and things like that instead of like waking you up, which cilantro does that. So this I'm gonna just clean out the like middle part first and then get back to like cleaning the whole chair later. So I'm gonna do these and holla in a minute. So I cleaned the chairs the best that I'm gonna get it for now. I'm gonna do a redo tomorrow to really get them clean enough to sit in, and then I'm going to stratify the seeds that I have left over from last year so that I'm not wasteful. And so I'm going to show you the chamomile that I have in abundance. I don't know if you could see, there's lots behind me grown literally everywhere. So let's see if I can get closer. Can you see the chamomile behind me right here? And then I have all back here chamomile everywhere. And then, uh-oh, I'm running into the chamomile. Don't do that. Okay, so let me show you. Okay, don't be judging me on my camera performance, but so you see I have all this chamomile, like it just goes all the way back there everywhere, and you encourage it to grow because chamomile is a wildflower. It's a wild herb, or however you say it, wildflower, wild herb, but it will just grow. Like if you see one and you cut your grass, just cut around it, and then the seeds will germinate and grow more and more. And then when you see more come up, just cut around those as well. And you will get an abundance. Like, I don't know if you could like really see, but it's so many. There's one right here. You see? And they go all the way back there. So I already have me some steeping, and what I do is I just literally, you got to be careful about cutting plants with scissors, like because you have to, or like a knife or scissors, because you have to sterilize them. And really, for real, you can't skip that part. I've learned that in the past and was hard headed, and I skipped it, and I have diseased plants that way, and pruning rose bushes. And uh, so I just like to just go in and grab them, grab the stem, and break it with my hands. I feel like it's safer that way because, it's natural. It's just like, you're using, you're touching skin to plant, and plants come from the earth and you come from the earth. So that's my rationality. The birds, let me tell you something. My birds over here, they are hood because they fly past my head like they got it like that. Like they can just do that. Like I won't knock a bird out. And they do that because they're comfortable with me, because I make sure I keep water out for them. And, uh, I feed them, and the habitat is, you know, for them, with all the plants and everything. So they have gotten really familiar with me, and they will just fly by my head, and I'm like, okay, I love you too, but watch out. So I'm gonna just take and break it at the bottom. It's that simple. And then you just turn it upside down. I don't tear the leaves off. I don't do any of that. I just take it and hang it upside down. So I'll show you how I did the other ones as well. You see, this one is already hung up and it's already dried out. So I have been taking uh, seeds or the chamomile from this one, and I have them seeping inside. So I'm just gonna take this one and hang it up alongside here. And I'm gonna tell you guys, I am so like complicated, uncomplicated, complicated, uncomplicated type deal, because I have ornamental lights hanging up, and I didn't feel like looking for something to tie it up. So I literally just took the ornamental light and I wrapped the chamomile in it. And it worked for me. So I'm going to take this one. You know what? I'm going to wrap it in another part of the ornamental light. So without breaking your light, of course, you just twist it and, well, it broke off. So can you see? And I just see, and the new one is hanging. So I'm going to show you the chamomile that I already have steeped. So this is the chamomile that I have steeped, and the chamomile that you saw hanging, I just went outside because it's been drying. I hung it up like maybe 4 or 5 days ago, and they're completely dried out because we haven't had rain. So, and I just put this up under it while it was empty with no water, and I just, took the leaves or took the herbs and, you know, just let them fall off inside while I was holding this up under it. So then I had water in a pot, and I heated the water up and then poured it over the sunflower and then put the lid on it, and it's been sitting here, I say maybe for a good half an hour. The longer the better. So I'm going to take my cup. I always drink out of the same. I'm not fancy. I could get fancy, but ain't no party like a party. Anyway, so what I'm going to do so that I do not waste any of this, let me tell you what I did one time. I was distracted, and I literally just poured this down the drain after doing all the steps that I told you that I do. I was like, how dare I? So I'm going to make sure I pour it in here, because of course if I pour it in my glass, it will spill everywhere. So and sometimes you can literally like put this back inside of this container, pour the water back over it, do it several times to make sure you get all of everything out of here. But I'm not going to do that this time. But also, you can keep this because I guarantee you there's more of the extraction from the chamomile in the chamomile. So you can keep it and do it again with water, like put it back in the glass and pour hot water over it. And don't throw this away, gardeners. Don't throw this away, my lovely gardeners, my lovelies. No, I'm just playing. Put this in your compost, okay? This is compost and they love it. The flowers, the plants, the earth love it because we just got them out of the earth. So, makes sense? Yeah, makes so much sense. So, put that there. And then pour some. And I'm going to put the strainer. I love this strainer because it sits on top. So I can then put my lid on top. And look at that color. Look at that. That is undeniable that that is chamomile tea. So yes, we are going to drink chamomile. So I'm going to take a sip test to see what it's like to drink wild chamomile tea from a garden that has been composted with vegetables and scraps from vegetables and scraps that were grown from the garden and put right back in the garden, and natural, no pesticides, no anything bad for you. Just God's fresh, relatively clean air. Mm. And I didn't put anything in this. No honey, no sugar, no nothing. It needs no introductions. No help whatsoever. You can taste the clean herb. It smells, it tastes so much cleaner than what comes out of the stores and has been transported on semi trucks. All respect for the semi truck services because we do need them. But when you are taking in herbs that are meant for healing and detoxing the body, it defeats the purpose when they have toxins. So, immediate, calm, no side effects. Every single time I buy herbs, there's always some weirdness, like chamomile is supposed to calm you and soothe you, but I'll get that effect, but then there's always some other type of effect, like I get too sleepy, drowsy, bogged down. It's weird. this, it's just calming. So delightful. So, as I said before, when you see the chamomile growing up in your yard, just cut around it. Don't cut it down. And they will multiply and triplify and quantify. So good. Yum, yum. Chamomile. Oh, chamomile. Oh, chamomile. Good for the soul. Chamomile. Oh, chamomile. Oh, chamomile. Good for the soul. Chamomile. Wash over me still. Oh, chamomile. Wash over me. Chamomile. While I am drinking my chamomile, make sure when you drink tea, you do like, I think it's the Chinese or the Asian or one of the two. They sip, if you notice, they sip their tea. You get a greater effect where you can really feel it working on you from the inside out when you sip. So I'm going to dig up this area. I am getting this area ready for more plants. I literally love this tool. I don't know what the name of it is, but I got this tool from an estate sale, and it's like the best investment I could have ever had. If you know what the name of this tool is, can you please tell me so that I will give it a name? It deserves a name, of course. It's been so handy and helpful for me that yes, it deserves a name, don't you? Yes, I do speak to my tools. That's my prerogative. Look, here's another cilantro that I'm getting rid of because the smell conflicts with the chamomile. trying to watch out for green onions that I have growing right here. So dirt on me. Shoot. A lot of work. And it's hot. It's got to be like 90 degrees or more. I have a tiller in the shed. It's huge, but I don't know if I like it uh, because it breaks up the ground too much. I don't know if there's any difference in what I'm doing and using the tiller, but it feels like the tiller made, I don't know, certain weeds come up that I am not particularly fond of. Wild plants, because I love wild plants, but I don't know. So you tell me again if you know if what I'm doing is more eco-friendly to the earth versus using a mechanical tiller. Are you guys still gardening? Are you like pretty done for the summer? Are you going to be gardening for fall, prepping for winter and next season? I'm such a silly girl. I got my decorations right here, and because they're so pretty, I don't want to move them just yet, but I need to move them so I won't hit into them. So I don't know if you can see my little dollar store. They make a big difference, even though they're like from the dollar store, if you know where to put them to and how to place them to give it a really nice impact so it doesn't look cheesy. I also got to get more mulch. I had a delivery of cedar wood and it was like huge. And even one of my neighbors said, "Are you going to be able to use all that?" And it's gone and I need more. So the answer is yes. There's never enough mulch that you can have. The yard loves mulch, so mulch, mulch, mulch. It's very important. I am going to finish this off today, hopefully, or get back to it because I haven't decided if I want to, like I said, make this a a flower pond or a pond or just I have water all in that, so the mosquitoes are loving me right now. Hold on. You guys see the beautiful sunflowers? They're so pretty and dainty and yellow and alive and fruitful, yielding wonderful fruit because they are giving to the birds, and there are finches that have been posted up, and like literally a family of finches that have been posted up waiting for their opportunity to eat the seeds. And I also uh, take seeds from the sunflowers to plant for the next year. And the finches, they make these beautiful sounds. Um, and it's so funny because last year they were just going crazy. All you heard were finch noises, like all over the place. So, and what I did this year, this is behind the sunflowers, is an evergreen tree. You know, those trees that look like in Narnia, or I don't know, some fairy tale movie where they grow like cones all the way up in the sky. Tell me, do you know the name of that evergreen tree? Um, I planted the sunflowers up against the tree so that when the winds blow, really, because where I live, the winds have picked up a lot. So uh, when that happens, I like to give it protection so that it won't be as hard or as easy for them to keel over. So just keep that in mind. Sunflowers, they the winds could topple them over, And so, have a way to prop them where they will stay standing up and not keel over. So, yes. So, I have a book on herbs. It's called The Complete Medicinal Herbal Book. And I love this book because it helps you to know what herbs or what plants you can use as herbs and how the different variations that you could use them. So, uh, like it tells you herbs past and present. So it even is semi speaking historically. And for instance, when it speaks about the origins of, let's see, if I go to, specifically, uh oh, well, I was trying to find the one on chamomile because that's what the subject matter is. But for instance, if I were to read lavender, it says one of the most popular medicinal herbs since ancient times, lavender derives its name from the Latin lavare, to wash. And isn't that something that it says that? Because I literally was just saying chamomile wash over me. And it says that the Latin name for lavender, it derives its name from the Latin lavare, to wash. In Arab medicine, lavender is used as an expectorant. Wait, let me make sure I'm saying that right. Expectorant, yes, and antispasmodic, while in European folk tradition it is regarded as a useful womb herb and a worm remedy for children. Species used medicinally includes L. angustifolia or L. spica. Flowers. Less potent than the essential oil, the flowers are useful for nervous exhaustion, headaches, or colic and indigestion. Harvest toward the end of flowering when the petals have begun to fade. Dry in small bunches, covered with paper bags to collect the florets as they fall. So then it tells you how to make a tincture, how to make a cream, how to make essential oil, how to make dried flowers, and it tells you how to apply it, how to infuse it, and such. So, this book is so cool because it goes into all the different plants that you may have not known about. Um, it could even encourage you to um, grow these herbs yourself, realizing that a lot of these herbs grow in areas that you probably wouldn't expect that they grow. Um, grave gravel root. I've never heard of gravel root. So it this gravel root, it says a, a favorite with Native Americans, gravel root. E. par parcum, which was known as Joe Pye weed, from a New England medicine man who used it to cure typhus. So this is really beneficial because it really helps you to know like where it was derived from, as far as like, of course it comes from the earth, but like the first people who used it, well, that they know of, that was documented, it could have been used from people before, this person, and it could have been used differently as well. But this person, it was documented that they used it to cure this disease. And so it's really cool to know this because you can learn to heal yourself with, uh, you know, herbs from the earth instead of using synthetic uh, things that just has an adverse reaction. So yeah, this is really cool. Red clover, let me tell you guys, red clover grows everywhere. Red clover grows on the side of the highway. And I'm just going to read really fast or slow what red clover is used for. So, the technical name of red clover is trifolium, trifolium pratense red clover. The red clover we now use medicinally was mainly used in the past as a fodder crop for cattle. Gerard knew it as metal trifold, trefoil, or three-leaved grasset, and its familiar three-lobed leaves were associated by medieval. Okay, I'm not going to read more because it's starting to get it. Okay, so I'm going to skip that part. So it says the Romans used strawberry leaved clover, T. fraiferum, a Mediterranean plant which Pliny suggested taking in wine for urinary stones and recommended the root for dropsy. So literally, it can be used for like stomach issues. So this stomach issues specifically is urinary stones, but you can do more research to find out if, since it's documented that it could be used for urinary stones, if it could be used for more different type of stomach issues, the digestive system maybe, or whatever. So this is really, really cool. So I'm going to make sure I study my book more to really uh, get invested in herbs and apothecary. And so, you just take every day, one day at a time. We can't do everything in one day or one lifetime. Oh gosh. I mentioned in one of the last videos, check it out. I'll have it as one of the end videos for you to click on it. But I mentioned when we were playing the bowls, how it's mentioned how you could try to learn, especially if you're the kind of person where you love learning, like you love it. Sometimes it could, just make you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm not even scratching the surface of things, and that's the magnificence of our creator. He is endless. There's no end to what he is and who he is and what he can do. And he made us creators and want to learn endlessly as well. So, we just keep learning, and keep growing and doing the best that we can every day. Uh, and knowing that if we don't give up, we will see the fruits of our labor, especially when we make our blows count in the areas where it really matters. So, I am so thankful that I was able to be out here and listen to the birds and drink some chamomile tea and take in nature and do some hard work, because hard work is beneficial for the mind, body, and soul. We were created to work hard and have peace with it. So, yes, I look forward to hearing, you know, what you guys are doing in the garden uh, to be progressive and grow vegetables and plants and let the wildlife grow like the chamomile, um, where it was totally free and I didn't have to buy it from the store as I have in the past. And it grows in so much abundance that I'm going to have to find places to hang them up to dry them out, which I'm sure I will not have a hard time doing that. So, um, yeah, thank you so much. And chamomile tea. And thank you for tuning in to Keys Garden Cafe, you guys. Until next time, peace.